So before we even intro, I have to say congratulations to Avery. He actually
yes.
beat Tyler, which I think is the first time in like a month or more that someone beat Tyler as first on this show. So
yeah, that was very, very good work, Avery. I'm so happy. I think you're playing D&D right now too, so kudos, sir.
Impressive. Nice.
So, yeah.
Well, but good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of a really good podcast. I am here. Kay is here.
Everyone's here. Karma's here somewhere. She keeps yelling. You'll probably hear her at some point.
I'm excited to be back. I missed our show 2 weeks ago as I was in Louisiana and unable to podcast, but I watched the show with Kay and Pun, and it was really, really good. I hope y'all enjoyed it because I laughed a lot.
Listen, I'm glad you guys had fun because we had fun. It's always fun with Pun. Fun with Pun. Hey. Oh, segment.
Yeah.
Segment.
I was just thinking, I was like, that's going to be a segment.
Oh, God. All right. Well, and, you know, I know we're a little late getting here, but we've had it's been a day, you know. I would say it's Monday, but it's Tuesday. So it's belated Monday. And, I guess, you know, fun with Pun. Yes, she's down with it. That's all we need.
So I say we dive right into it. It's time for some news. So I have decided, I made a decision, discussed it with my partner here, Kay, and we're going to tweak the news, shall we say.
I hit my mic again. I'm so dangerous with this mic. I got it. Okay. All right. Sorry. Go ahead. Camera, please. Okay. All right. Technical difficulties. I'm sorry. Carry on.
I don't care unless it is something extremely interesting. I don't care that much for celebrity news, but I was reminded that there are probably people in our audience that have more interest in it than me. So I'm still going to do celebrity news, but on top of that, I'm going to do the type of news in TV and movie that I care about, and that is what is being made, when is it coming out, and what big stuff has dropped this week. So,
you know, I kind of actually got similar things when I looked into it, which I was thinking was kind of funny when I was looking it up, because I scrolled for, Tyler can confirm, at least 30 minutes earlier looking through celebrity news.
That's the reason I don't like doing it much, is because you can't, unless there's like a big news on Britney or something like that, it's all just bullshit. Like, right. I'm trying to find one interesting thing to list right now, and the most interesting thing I found is Donnie Wahlberg and Jenny McCarthy renewed vows on 7th wedding anniversary.
Oh, that's cute. Congratulations. I could totally get that. It's a lot of gossip and a lot of just garbage news. And now, personally, I enjoy... I don't know who a lot of these people are is my problem. But if I do know who they are, I'm like, hey, but then I move on and just carry on with my life.
So I found something actually that I feel is actually news and celebrity. Gene Simmons tests positive for COVID. Kiss has to postpone concerts.
Yes, that's crazy.
Paul Stanley just recently battled COVID. If you're a music fan, you have to be in. Yes, sir. I knew we were gonna be graced with your presence on this announcement.
They canceled Bonnaroo last minute today.
What?
Yeah.
Because they got hit with a bunch of rain. That's the only reason I was coming. I'm not going to be a shithead right now. I'll do that later. But I was just going to throw that out for you.
Kid Rock had to cancel a bunch of stuff because like half of their band has COVID.
Well, yeah, Kid Rock has COVID.
He said he did not have it, but I bet he probably did. He was just belated posting. But he said on his thing that most of the band was vaccinated, which I had to laugh because I was like, well, there's your problem right there.
Sorry, but if it's most of the band, I would put money down right now that Mr. Kid Rock is the one guy who didn't get
He,
vaccinated.
you know, and he might be saving face. He said that he was one that did get vaccinated, but he could, you know, we don't know. I don't know. I would, as him, wonder if I should just kind of, I would know if I was him, I would have gotten the vaccine. So I can't make any excuses for him or the other bandmates. But I do think it's funny that literally he was like, oh, before everyone gets all mad at me, most of us were vaccinated. Well, huh. All right. Sorry. In all seriousness, I hope you guys are okay. Well, you know,
I'm not even going to read it out loud. Take a look at the words on the screen.
Right. That's not a lie at all. Kid Rock is very interesting as an individual, to say the least. That's polite, I guess. But hey, but seriously, get better, everyone. Don't die. That would be preferable, and definitely take care of yourself. Do everything that you can, man, and keep your family safe. Yes.
But in other news, and I'm just going to go ahead and shoot this right there. Most of this news, actually, I think all but like one thing that I saw on StreamReel comes from our very own Shaw over at the Geek Gauntlet, because there is nobody better for entertainment news than Shaw.
Really?
And if anybody, I hope Will is watching this so he can throw this shout out, because like truly, me and Kay are both in the Geek Gauntlet podcast chat, and literally hours after a show will air, or an hour after a show will air, he's already throwing things out there that are happening to put on next week's show.
Right. It's
the man
so
has
impressive.
breaking news before it hits the Facebooks. Like, it's crazy. Hey, Karma! Hi!
There it is! It decided to make an appearance. Oh my god!
That's probably one of the only like second times I've seen her on full camera.
Right? She's gonna run around and mess some stuff up. That's what she's gonna do.
So,
all right.
As I give my tribute to Shaw and his sources that are magical, first things first, Expendables 4 is moving forward. Megan Fox, 50 Cent, and Tony Jaa have all signed on for this. My opinion on this, I'm an Expendables fan because I like that
I love Expendables.
explosive,
I love Expendables so
put
much.
every action star you possibly can in a movie. Like, it's literally, there's no point to these. It's what Fast and the Furious turned into. There's no point in these movies except to blow shit up and give these 60, 70-year-old actors another chance.
And I gotta say, the first one was definitely the best one because they tried to add too much. I hate.
Yes.
You know what I really griped about? The blood. It just became complete animation. Yeah. I said, "What is this garbage? This is an action movie. How dare you besmirch it with animated blood?" I will say,
1 was great, 2 was good, 3.
Yeah.
So 4.
I mean, I found moments in all of them that I enjoyed. Because they're all fun, and I mean, some of them. Like, I particularly really like Jason Statham.
I mean, I don't blame you. My issue with 3 is probably I don't like Mel Gibson as a bad guy. He never gets over to me as a bad guy. It just comes off as annoying.
You know what I always think of him in is Maverick. Like, that's his role for me in my mind. And that's whenever I see him, I just see that character, and that's not the character I want trying to destroy things.
So, Expendables 4, Megan Fox, 50 Cent, Tony Jaa. Personally, I get Megan Fox's appeal in Transformers 1 and 2. She was gorgeous.
Right.
Still is very pretty. But I don't see, she's never been an action movie star. I don't understand really her placement in this type. Not in that.
You're not going to count the Transformers as like some form of action
But
movie?
she
wasn't
running around shooting
the character
people,
like an action character herself.
Yes,
she's a badass.
She's the damsel in distress.
Right, I see that.
That's the role she plays in those type of movies. So,
right. Megan the Fox.
We're gonna have to come back to this one here in a second. We're gonna have to come back to that one in a second. 50 Cent. I honestly love 50 Cent in most movies he's in. Freaking glads. Our producer 7 dropping in the comments.
Oh. Hey, you know what? That's a really good point. Who did decide? Oh, I clicked it off. My bad. Oh my god, I'm sorry.
Okay, but in all fairness, he made those fucking movies.
I did enjoy him. The first couple movies were the only ones that I really paid attention to. I totally got out of it after
she left. It was them together. It was their chemistry together on screen was so amazing, and it felt real. Once she left the series, the third one was shit. It was terrible. I didn't like it. And then I can't get through the first 30 minutes of 4.
Right.
And I like Mark Wahlberg.
You know, Mark Wahlberg is solid in everything that he does. I haven't seen a bad thing that old Marky Mark's done, honestly.
Oh my God, 7. Shia is crazy and I'm here for it. Charlie Sheen with left STDs.
Wait, have you seen? I can never remember the name of it, but it's like the little musical thing for Shia LaBeouf. Like somebody wrote like a full, like on stage.
Yes,
you know what I'm talking about? Yes,
I have seen it.
It's so good.
Here's the thing. I will always have a strong affection for Shia LaBeouf simply because of Even Stevens. Like
right,
I can't.
He has a place in my heart, just as Beans. Even though now he looks like a child predator.
Yeah,
he does.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Bad.
Did you watch
So
that Even
bad.
Stevens reunion? He looks like he does. He looks like either a child predator or that guy that you can't figure out if he's homeless or not, but he's sitting on the side of the road busking with a guitar in a fedora.
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds. I did not see it, but that sounds about right. I need to go look this up. Apparently,
it's like you just be like, yeah, Sam is right, but no. Shia is that special kind of crazy. Like I'm all for Shia's level of nuts because like even like Christy Carlson Romano, who's on Even Stevens was. She posted a video recently because she's gotten back into like doing online stuff and an online presence.
I was
she's
just
really
reading
cool.
her thing. Yeah, she had a good interview.
The video where she talked about why she doesn't talk to Shia anymore. Like they had great on-screen chemistry, but she was really bitter because he got famous and she went to college.
Right. Well, and you know what? I mean, anybody's going to be salty in that situation, but
yeah.
And kudos for going to college, right? But ultimately choices. Yeah, I kind of feel that way about it. But I mean, anybody in that position is going to be a little salty.
and I almost look at it like Ren and Lewis went the exact direction that Christy and Shia did. Like he just Lewis kept being crazy. What's living if you never pull your pants down and slide on the ice, Ren? Like I mean that's his life motto. We all know this.
And in Shia's defense, when he knew Even Stevens was ending, he went and did probably his greatest role ever, which gave him that stardom outside of Even Stevens, and then built him into movies like Eagle Eye and then the fourth Indiana Jones, which oh my God.
Terrible.
But
terrible
this was
movie.
Matt is right. Greatest role to date was Holes. Like
I did actually really enjoy Holes.
I just saw a TikTok that last week of Zero listening to a remake of the song from Holes and just bopping out to it. And Shia has not done a better role since that. Other than
the first Transformers.
The first Transformers, and then I can't think of the name of it now.
Is that one Disturbia? Is that
Disturbia. That's the one I'm trying to think of.
That's a great movie.
Oh my God. It was like our generation's the Man Next Door with Jimmy Stewart and the goggles. It was like
That's
our
exactly
generation.
What it was, yeah.
Oh my God! It was so.
That was a pretty good movie. It's creepy.
It was, it was Holes, Eagle Eye, and Disturbia and then the Transformers first two. After that, he went batshit. It was once he. No, truly, I'll name you the movie that once he did it, he was never the same, and that was Nymphomaniac.
Yeah,
and it's an independent. It's an independent And unless you're into that, you never would. It's literally basically a smut film. Like, truly.
You know what? Okay, makes sense. Again,
Eagle Eye got destroyed by critics too, and it did not do that well in the box office. And I think that hurt him as well.
Yeah.
It wasn't a bad movie, but it was like there's too much overacting in it. I feel like is really where the disconnect was.
Yeah. It wasn't, and it wasn't necessarily him. It was some of his co-stars weren't the greatest.
The chick that he was alongside was really, and I think there was even I read articles where they fought the whole time. They didn't get along together, and that doesn't surprise me because there was no chemistry between them.
Yes.
But okay, sorry, I'll quit hijacking your show.
So,
get out of here.
My next thing, did you do your homework today, Kay? Did you go and watch the Spider-Man?
I did.
Is it okay? So
no, it's not.
I disagree.
I was misled to think that this was the greatest trailer in years. And
I disagree.
Although,
thank you, Seven.
Although it's a decent trailer. It's decent, and I'll give it some credit for superhero stuff and Marvels and whatnot.
Before you go,
I disagree.
I'm going to give
the trailer part.
In her defense, she's not a comic book movie person, so she probably didn't get all the teasers that we saw in it. So,
I don't give a shit, is what he's saying. I don't give not one rat's ass. Please take it away. They need to be done. Over. Finished. It's been going on too long. Sorry. Carry on.
I will say,
like the Marvel movies, carry on, please.
I will say she's wrong. Spider-Man No Way From Home trailer was amazing and one of the best trailers I have seen in years. But if you're not a fan and you didn't get all the little tidbits that went on in that 90 seconds.
Care about all the little tidbits. Come on. Let's get the terminology.
Mute! And you're muted, Seven. You're muted.
Let's say, can we just mute her microphone? They realize I'm producing. I can do that. No. But no, I'm curious. Okay, so what was the disconnect for you on it? I'm legitimately curious.
No, you just heard her complaint. She's just tired of the entire series.
No, I said the trailer itself. Yeah, because you were too busy getting upset that you didn't listen to what I said. I said the trailer itself is a good trailer, especially in terms of Marvel movies of the last 6 years. I will say there's a few that I do enjoy, and I've mentioned this several times, but I'll list them out again. Guardians, good, solid series. The first Avengers and the second one, pretty good. After that, kind of lost me. Odds and ends here and there after that, whatever, great. But that was a good trailer. I will say I've not watched Doctor Strange, and I've wanted to, and I do enjoy things like the whole magic sci-fi aspect. I mean, come on, that's fun. But it's
Doctor Strange is probably one of the better Marvel movies out there, just saying. And it took me forever to watch it, and it is so good.
I will say I'm really surprised that Doc Ock looks as good as he does this many years later. Like, he looked exactly the same. And
aging software.
Yeah.
That's so mean. I hate
CGI.
it. I hate it.
Yeah,
does he look that bad?
He doesn't look that bad, but he don't look that young.
Alfred Molina aged like fine milk. I'll just put it that way.
But that's what I wanted to talk about. In that trailer, you saw Doc Ock, you saw Goblin. If you go back and watch some of the reports that people have done just on the trailer, there's hints for Croc was supposedly running around the back, and supposedly in this, you're supposed to get the formation of the Sinister Six. Yeah, which she has no idea what I'm talking about. But remind me, I know those
Squad, but better, much better.
Remind me, it's those three. It's Doc Ock, Goblin, Croc, and who are the other three? Seven, do you remember?
Electro is one of them.
Electro, Venom.
And is it Sandman?
Sandman, yes. There you go.
All right.
And all 6 of those were supposedly hinted at some point in the trailer. Spider-Man himself, Tom Holland, has come out and said that the trailer is just the tip of the freaking iceberg. And then, again, Shaw, posted a thing today that some sites are reporting that it will be the longest non-Avengers movies in the MCU universe, which meaning could be 3 hours.
It has to be.
Vulture.
Why?
Thank you, Matt Murphy. Thank you, Matt Murphy. Vulture.
And so the Amazing Spider-Man 2 was supposed to set up the Sinister Six.
Yes.
But like everything else Sony has touched, they fucked it up.
Yes.
And I think Andrew Garfield
Disney is finally going to do it.
And Disney's going to do it right. But they're my issue with the trailer, because like I was just messing around. Like my issue with the trailer is there's too much.
Yes,
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I understand this is the live action multiverse. That's what's happening here. They're going full bars into it, and I get it. But you have Peter and half a dozen villains at least that are hinted in this trailer in 90 seconds. I mean, I've seen more story in a Pornhub video that's 90 seconds.
It's a lot of villains to get through in like one movie.
Well,
Are they going to try and cram? Please, camera. God, see this. Even my camera hates the conversation. What like do they? Is it just going to be spread out over several installments, or are they going to cram all that in?
It'll definitely, the stories will go on to other ones. Like they've already said that this will also go into the new Doctor Strange, the multiverse, and like. The multiverse starts with the new Ant-Man and Wasp. Well, it actually started with Loki. Like the Loki series kicked all that off, and now that's what all the movies are going to revolve around. But
this is turning into Apex Legends lore.
Basically,
you gotta be on 13 different things to keep up with it.
Yep.
And everybody thinks it matters so much.
I don't disagree with you. I don't get into them like that. Like, I am not a fanatic. This one interests me because it's literally finally tying every Spider-Man that there's been together. They're all coming back for this
premise. That's neat. I'll give it that. And listen, I'm going to follow this up with saying there's a perfectly logical reason for why I don't. As movies themselves, if they didn't have everything supporting them being comic books and being all this stuff and having all of the very expensive CG,
they'd be B movies.
They'd be awful movies, man. The writing is the same thing for everyone, and it's subpar. And I care so much about the writing. So the actors are usually decent. They're decent.
To the fact that they tried last year to add an Academy Award for popular movie so that the MCU movies could win an award.
I didn't even realize that was a thing.
Last year, 2020.
The thing for me is with this movie, and I think it's one of the reasons why it's going to have a bigger splash than some of these other movies. I think the Sinister, because some of these other properties that they're getting into now are stuff that fringe fans like you and I would get into, Josh. Yeah. But the casual fan, like,
even Shang-Chi is a little far out there for me, though.
Exactly. But I think the main reason why there are a lot of Marvel fans that are excited for this movie is we finally get one more shot with Tobey.
Mm-hmm.
I did now. Tobey is my favorite.
Garfield.
Yes.
You got screwed.
Yeah, there's no reason. I love Tom. Oh man, we could go an hour on this. I love Tom Holland, and he is a great Spider-Man. But Andrew was fucking great, and there was no reason to replace that man. There was no fucking reason.
And Emma Stone was doing a great job as well.
Yes.
Like, I think Andrew Garfield deserves the proper shot to get a little bit more. Give us some closure. We were robbed.
Well, I'm sorry. People can shit on Tobey all they want, but I am so excited to see those three stand next to each other on screen. Like, I will probably mark out for that just little moment. But we've talked about this for 10 minutes. I knew it was going to be a long one. I've still got a lot on this news, and we got other stuff to talk about. So...
Yeah, so I'm going to interrupt and say what I had to say, that there is a spin-off coming out. I don't know if you guys knew this about the How I Met Your Father. Seven, you ran away. Now I feel bad. Don't say sorry like that and run away. I love you, Seven. Thank you for all the informative stuff that I don't care about, but everyone else does. So that's what matters. And you do so well. You fill in all the blanks, you and Josh, right there. See, together, we're like the perfect team.
Well, I'm going to end up chiming back in on the How I Met Your Father stuff because Hillary Duff is Bae. So go ahead.
Oh,
Well,
dude, me too. Since I was 12 years old.
Right, and Josh Peck is joining, so that's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm super excited for that. He's going to be like the
my
vice
favorite
president of the
childhood
school.
stars and putting them into a show that I will now watch as an adult. Gotcha.
Right? And also, side note, did not know that they were rebooting Fresh Prince. I probably heard it somewhere and didn't pay attention. Bel Air, right? And they, the guy who got the role, Jabari Banks, as Will actually like FaceTimed him and told him himself, which was kind of cute, and the video is adorable. So if you guys are interested, go check it out.
Wow, so they are moving forward with the dramatic Bel Air.
Yes.
So
Yep.
I went.
Will's behind it too.
So we talked about this, I think, on one of the first episodes, Kay, about the YouTube video that dropped. Will saw it. It's only like a 10-minute video of a dramatic version of Fresh Prince.
Yeah, it came out in 20.
And Will saw it, immediately contacted the guy. Last I had heard, he was working on trying to get it going. So it sounds like he's got it going. I'll be interested
That guy
to
is
see
actually involved in the project.
They're
too.
greenlit for 2 seasons at least on Peacock.
I'll be interested to see this. The thing to me read kind of like a what is that Archie and Jughead spinoff? Rockdale or oh God.
Bel Air Lee
I love it. I so love it.
But it reminded me of something like that, or Teen Wolf, a teen drama on CW. So
right, and sometimes CW generally is definitely not the highest quality of shows, but they're fun shows, and unless they're superhero shows, I will give CW's.
Oh no,
shows.
I'm watching Flash right now. I'm in season 5 of Flash, and it's so good.
I really enjoyed Flash quite
Green
a bit.
Arrow's good,
Cannot deny. Green Arrow is good. I did like Flash better, but I think it really came down to production quality with that, and the writing was
in
better.
like season 6. It got hard for me to watch in like season 6.
It was literally more colorful. So I don't know. That was more. It was just fun. But
It's because Arrow is meant
Campier.
to be a broody character, kind of like Batman, and Flash has
he
always
did
been very
so
bubbly.
good. That guy did.
We're going to
so
talk
good
about
at
Stephen
that
Amell
character.
in a little bit. We're going to talk about Stephen Amell.
Yes.
In a little bit.
Okay. All right. And one last thing, if anybody's cares about the new Russell Crowe movie, they had to shut down filming 6 days from the end of it because of a case of Rona. So that'll be this is the Poker Face, and it's the one that he's like directing and starring. Right. So 6 days. That's a real shitter. I'd be so mad. Oh God, I'd be mad. All right. Sorry. Now that's my news. I just wanted to get that out. I wanted to have my
I'm
moment.
going to try and blow through these a little bit. Manifest gets a final season at Netflix. If you haven't watched the show, it's a great show. Got canceled NBC this season, but it has a huge following on Netflix. I'm one of those people watching the series right now, so I'm excited that they're going to finish it out. Resident Evil First Look for the movie came out this week. I have not checked this out yet, but I'm going to have to go look at it. I'm excited
The
for a
screenshots
live
are
action
good.
Resident Evil. So, Matrix 4 finally got an actual title, Matrix Resurrections. I'm excited for this just because Keanu does no bad.
And Matrix
Does
is
no
awesome.
bad.
I don't think they would. I really hope they don't besmirch Matrix, but it's a solid series. I don't know what.
Truly, Keanu Reeves doesn't make a bad movie. He's never made a bad movie.
No, even movies that should be bad, he like pulls it
Exactly.
out of his ass.
Bill
I
and
don't know how he
Ted.
does it. I love Bill and Ted. Even the new one. We just watched the new one, and it's so bad, but it felt just like the originals. I was like, I actually really like this movie.
Exactly.
They look. Oh my goodness, they aged very rough. I must say, it's seeing the comparison between. Oh wow, Keanu's getting that dad bod. He's got that. Okay, sorry. Carry on.
Mandalorian rumors that it is being canceled after season 3 by Lucasfilm. I wouldn't be hugely surprised because Lucasfilm doesn't know what the fuck to do with the Star Wars property anymore. So if they do, they're
So
I don't know.
popular. Yeah, that's so stupid. That's their moneymaker right now. I mean, come on.
Umbrella Academy season 3 wrap shooting this week. I tried to watch the first season. I never got into it like some people. I know some people are hugely into it. Never got into it. Magic the Gathering animated series is moving forward at Netflix. Brandon Roth has been signed on for the lead. And last bit of news, Bridget Regan has been cast as Poison Ivy for Batwoman season 3.
Nice. Congratulations, man.
What's the face for, 7?
How does she look as a redhead? That's my question. Because Uma Thurman is the reason that I have a thing for redheads, and so I need to know if this is going to continue or if I'm going to be mad at somebody.
Well, I'm just going to say, from what I have seen
just...
from Batwoman, you're probably going to be a little mad. Just going to say.
Those fuckers.
All right. But we're going to take a commercial break, come back and do new releases with Kay, and then jump right into. I'm going to say right now, this episode might run a little long because I have been excited to talk about this topic, 94 movies, for over a month. And there's a lot to talk about.
So that works. Yeah, listen, that's what you're here for. Yeah, everyone's here for it. That's the best year anyway.
Well, it is, but it's going to be my fault that it runs over. I'll just take ownership on that now.
But stay with us. We'll be right back after these commercial messages. All right, so it is time, Kay. Tell us what new releases are coming our way.
Give me my dream. I can't do this without feeling jazzy before I go in, okay? This is Kay's rapid, but completely not biased, upcoming shows. Wait, what? Celebrity nudes?
I saw that too. I was like,
what? Okay, I'm glad. I'm very glad. But okay, all right. What was I thinking? All right, yes, not biased at all. This has nothing to do with my personal interest. I have nothing to gain. Okay, so real quick, the American Crime Story season 3 is finally out. It's been an issue. Things have happened. This is impeachment, right? What about Bill Clinton and everything? Fun fact. The real Monica Lewinsky is one of the producers on this season. So, hey, fun. That is coming out the 7th of September on FX. That's every Tuesday at 9 Central, 10 Eastern will be the new episode. I think there's supposed to be 10 episodes. On the 16th, Dan Brown's The Lost Symbol starts on Peacock. And this is Da Vinci Code with main character Robert Langdon when he was younger. And it's actually, so it was kind of fun. The release date was announced through a custom puzzle hidden within the New York Times, making a puzzle premiere date announcement an industry first. So nobody knew when it was coming out until somebody solved the puzzle. It was pretty nifty. I was like, okay. Peacock is what that's on again. The 22nd, Star Wars Visions. All right. So that's coming out on Disney Plus, and that's like the anime style thing. But what's kind of interesting is that I didn't realize that it's not bound by the continuity of the whole Skywalker saga and all that stuff.
It's basically a what if.
Right? So they have the ability to do whatever they want with it, and it's anime style. So that's actually probably going to be pretty neat little anthology thing. The 24th Foundation, which is the adaptation of Isaac Asimov's book, which stretches across hundreds of years, chronicles a human settlement created to preserve a collapsing intergalactic civilization. I really liked that description when I read it, and it made me want to watch this. Unfortunately, it's on Apple TV Plus, which is one of the few streaming services. I must get this one. Apparently, I'm just going to throw money at every streaming service because there's going to be one thing I want to watch on them. But yeah, that actually is going to have the guy that was John Lennon from the Sherlock Holmes Game of Shadows. Jared Harris is his name. But yeah, fun. And finally, 28th, La Brea is coming to NBC on Tuesdays at 8 Central, 9 Eastern. And this is just an unexplainable sinkhole and primeval world stuff, weird things. But the series is directed by, I'm going to butcher his last name. His first name's Thor, but it's Freudenthal, and he was the director for Percy Jackson's Sea Monsters, which is awesome, and Diary of a Wimpy Kid, oddly enough. But, hey, so good, good things. Excited about that. Sinkholes and unexplainable primeval worlds. I can't talk right now. I'm too excited. No, it's not it at all. I'm just trying to get this out too fast. But that, again, Tuesdays, 8 Central, 9 Eastern. So please check these shows out. They weren't biased at all. These are the only shows that are coming out, truly. That's it.
So the only one I have to mention actually came out. I was going to mention it on the show 2 weeks ago, but I was not here. It's been out. They just aired season 3 yesterday, or episode 3 yesterday. But it's Heels, and that's why I wanted to wait, because that's Stephen Amell's new show on Stars. He is portraying... It is with him, and Alexander Ludwig from Vikings. They play brothers in Georgia. Amell is the heel, which, if you don't know wrestling terms, is the bad guy in wrestling. Alexander Ludwig plays his brother Jack, or Ace, who is the face. And I've watched the first 3 episodes. Really, really good. Really good acting. Stephen Amell, Alexander Ludwig, amazing. CM Punk makes his acting debut in episode 3 as
interesting, yeah.
Ricky Rotten does a great job. Supposedly he has a more reoccurring character, so he'll be back. They have done wrestling very well in this. I would relate it to Glow. You could tell they've taken it very seriously. They are trying to show what independent wrestling is. And it's been a really good show. You should definitely check that out. And because it's on Stars, nudity. Lots of nudity.
Always a plus, right? Two pluses if you're right.
So I guess that's it for upcoming shows. I know we just took one, but I don't want to have to cut in the middle of this conversation. So we're going to take another quick break, and then we're going to come back and talk about, as Pun said earlier in the comments, the greatest year in cinematic history. In doing research for this, I want someone to argue with me. I want someone to come at me, because some of the greatest movies that we still talk about to this day came out in this year. So we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back to talk about that.
does us like we do. Always go hard with this crew. Welcome to the show, let's make moves. Nothing's gonna stop us, it's not to get rough. Turn the whole room up, it's never enough. Let's go, 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 let's go.
So I know I didn't call out last break's commercials, but I know Drop the Bike podcast. You can catch that next Tuesday. Me and Pun talking all things music. Last week's episode was so much fun. We just had a blast talking about MCR and we got away. It got away from us, just like this show does. It got away from us. Double XP. I think that ran. You can catch that with Kay and Pud and Tyler every Wednesday, 7 Central, 8 Eastern. Make sure you check that out. It's a lot of fun. Those three have a blast. And then you can watch Tyler get hit on in the comments. It's hilarious.
Yep, they love him in there. I'm not jealous at all. No, JK.
JK,
it's adorable. I love it so much because he does so well with it. It's cute.
You know what? In all honesty, though, if you're a friend of Kay's on Facebook, on that picture she dropped this week, you should not be jealous because that girl can slay. Woo!
Thanks. Yeah, slay queen. I do knock my headset off. Yeah, it was a much needed profile picture, Jade. I gotta say that last one was like 2 or 3 years old, so you just gotta do it every once in a while. Might as well make it count, right?
See,
right?
Mr. Bailey knows. He's a smart man right there. Smart man. But no, yeah. So you can definitely check that out. Check out Sports Report After Dark with this laughing man right here. This man and Dirty Dan. The dick.
Dirty Dan.
The dick.
Why does Will have such a hard time saying?
I don't know. I think it's the funniest thing. I really do.
That's why I keep saying it. That is why I keep saying it.
It's worth it now. I mean, just for that.
Oh, God,
it's like you're trying to get a Christian woman to say shit or something like that. It looks like it causes him physical pain.
Right, it really does. He hesitates every time, even when he's not making a big deal. There's that catch, right? Oh, okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
And then Sports Report with Tony, C7, Will, Dirty Dan, talking all things sports, everything you need to know about the sports. So you're probably about to see me on there a little bit more because we're coming into football season. That's the one type of sport that I can really, really follow. So, and then we'll be pushing Real Reality Fantasy Football. As I've said before, make sure you go check them out. Like, subscribe. Sounds like our draft is coming out this week, so be on the lookout for that. All right. I'm going to ask you to stay right where you are, Tony, because I want you in on this, because this is an exciting topic. But, April Devon, I have to correct. Jurassic Park came out in 93.
Oh, wow. That was... How do you just know that so well? I
saw that. Well, I'm gonna be honest. I read it. I didn't think that was right, and I went and looked to confirm. But reason I didn't think that was right is I just watched the movies that we love on Netflix about Jurassic Park, and that was the highest grossing movie in 93. Forrest Gump has it in 94.
Okay. All right. Makes sense. Interesting.
So, as I was saying, 1994, one of the greatest cinematic movies years ever. I just listed one of the highest grossing movies of all time that came out that year. Forrest Gump, Tom Hanks.
So movie.
solid movie. One of the greatest movies ever made.
Well, I was looking at the director because I didn't know. I've not gone back. That came from a time when I didn't care about directors, right? Because, well, you know. All right, but Robert Zemeckis, and I was gonna say that's I didn't realize that's who directed Forrest Gump.
So
Just like I didn't realize James Cameron directed True Lies. What? I'm sorry.
So, yeah,
it's
go back,
actually
but-
really funny about the story about how they got like this. Also was in movies that made us on Netflix for season 2. Go watch it. It's so interesting, and they actually worked for 10 years to get this movie made, and it went through multiple companies, multiple things. Robert Zemeckis coming into it just after having big hits like Back to the Future. He went on to do amazing movies after that, and that led him to this. So if you have not watched that, go watch it. It's so interesting. They do one on this. They do one for Jurassic Park in season 2. Really, really good back information. But as I was looking at this, I went and found a list of the 50 greatest movies from 94. And I just wrote down the ones that stuck out to me. And I'm sorry, Kay, I passed out and forgot to send the list.
You know what? It's okay. I may have found it. I have a list. I don't know. I was thinking about that. I was like, wasn't I supposed to have a link
it
to
Screen
something?
Rant?
No. But I can look for Screen Rant.
So anyway, I'm in my defense, I have been fighting a migraine for almost 72 hours, and I fell asleep. So
Then you did a show with my loud ass. So.
this is the best I have felt in days. So
The belt, best you felt? Is that,
Belt,
is that just,
yeah,
is that
that's
how we're
what
gonna
I said.
abbreviate that now? Just belt?
Belt, best I felt. All right, so, but the second movie that I'm going to list, to me, is one of the greatest movies ever made. That is Shawshank Redemption. Like, and if you have never seen this movie, it made Morgan Freeman's career. Here's another comparison.
True story.
2 guys that do a great job in this movie. Morgan Freeman, Tim Robbins. Morgan Freeman goes on to want to have one of the greatest careers of all time. I don't think Tim Robbins did another thing after this movie. And I could be wrong on that. I could be wrong.
He did stuff after that, but I think that was definitely
His
By far his biggest role.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So just to give you a little synopsis on this, Tim Robbins plays a convict, Andy. Morgan Freeman plays another convict. It goes through their lives of being in this prison for 40 years and the entire story. It's the prison movie that you never knew you always wanted, because it literally tells you the entire life of this man, 40 years in prison. It is so well done. Like, keeps you. I've seen the movie probably going on 50 times, and still every time I watch it through, and just it keeps me on the edge of my seat every time. So I say this is one of the greatest movies to come out of that year. Fight me.
I'm sorry, the Lion King came out in 94, so you're going to lose that fight every time, buddy. Sorry.
Well, my next thing about that is Disney went off in 94. I'm going to go through it right now. Lion King, Little Rascals, Angels in the Outfield, Blank Check, D2 Mighty Ducks, Little Giants, Richie Rich. Those movies, if you were to ask childhood me, I get most people love animated Disney. Live action Disney was my shit. Blank Check is one of my all-time favorites. Yes, Mr. McIntosh. Oh,
such a good movie.
So it is quick synopsis again. Kid gets hit by a bank robber pulling out of a bank. Guy is cops are coming. Guy writes him a blank check. Kid goes home to an old school Apple computer and writes that check for $1 million and goes and grabs the bank robber's $1 million.
That's awesome.
Buys a house, just completely blows all of it. I mean,
buys a castle. Like in
I mean,
less than a month, blows through
$1
$1 million.
Yeah, it is amazing. This was such a good movie.
Awesome.
One of my favorite Disney movies outside of The Lion King.
All right. Okay, listen, I have a couple because I found a list myself, and there is a couple on here that okay. I know that, I mean, it's quite literally in the name, but it's one that we personally loved growing up, which was Dumb and Dumber. And that
I
was one of the.
I was gonna bring that up too because
That had
Jim
such
Carrey.
a primo like fart / shitting scene. I guess I don't know. You could just combine them all in one thing, but that was the one that really set him off for the rest of them, right? That was your basis for there's a really. If anybody's ever seen Escanaba into Moonlight, or if I've mentioned it all the time, it's Netflix. That one right there. Jeff Daniels actually is also in. Wait. Jeff Daniels is also in that one. Hang on a second. Hang on. I'm seeing some connections here, but all right. Yes, super solid movie. I think everyone's pretty aware what that is. Also,
Well, I was actually gonna say, so that year was Jim Carrey's best year ever. He came up with 3 of his probably 4 greatest movies. The only one that I would say isn't in this year was Liar Liar. And I believe it came out in 95. I believe.
That was
97.
Yeah,
Carrey.
94, you get Mask, Dumb and Dumber, and Ace Ventura. His greatest movies ever, right there. Because after that, he went loony and wasn't making the greatest of movies.
I actually did
weird.
not watch Ace Ventura until like a little bit. Like I was a little bit older, and I don't know. I enjoyed it, but I guess I just was bad
He
timing
just
for me.
couldn't
But
resist.
Mask,
He couldn't resist.
love Mask. There we go.
You ain't doing me like that, Josh. You ain't doing me like that.
First off,
Heck no.
did you catch my tribute to Shaw at the beginning?
No, I did not.
Oh, dude, every bit of my news for new releases and stuff, or for stuff coming out, was from that man. Like, every bit of it.
Shout out to my man Shaw. Oh man.
So why are you gracing our presence right now? Why?
Look, here's the thing. Every time, every other Tuesday, you either with K or you even with Pun. That's just this. We supposed to be bros. That's just disrespectful, man.
I got lucky.
You know, that's something that's. I'm glad that you're here together now to discuss this because that's been brought up a few times, and you know what? See, she's even respecting it.
What's up, Pun? What's going on? Yeah, Pun know what's up. She know.
Drama.
Yes.
I just got lucky. And
Yes.
Finally noticed.
Yes.
Linda with the W.
You see how Linda sees how they do me. She
I got lucky
understands.
and got the prettiest
Oh
people
man.
on Pinball to host shows with me. I just got damn lucky.
Look at you talking about 7 like that.
Oh.
And you just haven't seen me dress in a wig.
Y'all just y'all ain't
True story.
disrespecting me. I'm gonna show my face.
My junior year of high school, the homecoming theme was movies for the week, okay? The juniors had horror, okay? On horror day, I went to school as Carrie. Full dress. I had Jell-O for the boobs. I was actually wearing a bra and shaved my legs and wore heels. It took until 2:00 before a teacher recognized me. Nobody could recognize me. They all thought, "Who is that chick?" There's got to be a picture somewhere, but like, dude, I owned it, and it was great.
There was a point that you were like, wait a second, you're in the bathroom, like figuring out where your life is going and where you should approach things now. Like, is this the direction I'm going? You know?
Oh, no,
Because I look damn
back in the discount.
good.
So, back on topic. To pull it back to topic here.
The hell was the topic?
So we're talking
I
about
just got here.
We're talking about 94 movies, the greatest years in movies. We talked about Forrest Gump, Shawshank. We've talked about Dumb and Dumber. I wanted to go back into some of the cartoons or some of the Disney movies because I would say two of the greatest Disney sports movies came out this year, and that is three. The Little Giants, D2 Mighty Ducks, and Angels in the Outfield.
Was D2 94?
Yeah, it was.
Now, Angels in the Outfield, I'm not going to dispute that.
I can't
one.
dispute that either.
I
I
mean,
can't dispute that.
That's Golden, Christopher Lloyd, and Danny Glover if I've ever seen it.
Yes.
Shawshank either.
Well, yeah, and Shawshank as well. But
Yeah.
I thought D2 came out later than that, but I guess I love the Mighty Ducks movies.
It
So
fell. Remember, they were the Junior Goodwill Games, so that
Right.
one fell with 94 to fall on a non-Olympic year.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, I was
no,
surprised.
I
I was surprised at how many powerhouse movies that are still relevant today that Disney put out in '94, like the Little Rascals.
Disney owns our childhood.
Oh,
Disney
God.
owns
Sure
our
about
childhood.
you.
honestly.
Sure about
them,
you.
them and Looney
Disney
Tunes,
owns
man.
our
Sure about
childhood.
you.
Them and Looney Tunes.
And most of this stuff you can go watch on Disney Plus, just to plug Disney Plus there for a second.
Oh yeah.
Richie Rich is probably one of my
Love Richie
favorite.
Rich. Love
One
Richie
of my
Rich.
favorite live action big budget Disney movies ever. I
They
want
did that
them to
movie
remake
so
it now
well.
because they could do it like, yes, they did it well and it was great, but think of what they could do now.
Oh yeah.
Think of the movie they could make now.
Well, and I think that the major thing it would miss for me is the guy that was the dad in Richie Rich, Edward Hernan. He was also the dad or the senior dad in Gilmore Girls movies. He passed away a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Which I thought that when they did A Year in the Life of Gilmore Girls, they hid his death. They did that so well, by the way. But yes, I watched Gilmore Girls Fight Me. It's a great show. And I'm also like, if not for Hilary Duff, Alexis Bledel. I love her. She's amazing. I really wish that she would have had the female role in 50 Shades of Grey, because I would have watched the hell out of that movie if she was in it. But you have to admit, though, the chick that played the female lead in 50 Shades of Grey looks almost exactly like Alexis Bledel. Like, it's really
That's
close.
facts. That's facts.
But no, I like that. That's Richie Rich. Like, that was just such a good movie especially for that time and how wholesome it was and how good it was. It was just, and the message behind it, peak Disney, really.
Yes. I did want to bring this one up because, as it's well known on this show, I am a giant Kevin Smith fan. In '94, one of his greatest movies ever came out, and that is Clerks.
Oh, was Clerks made?
No,
Oh, no,
Clerks.
yeah, because
All that was
I thought
93.
Clerks was 95. It was 94?
Clerks was 94. I
Okay.
believe Dogma.
Mallrats was after with it.
I
Okay.
love
Yeah.
that
Clerks was his
so
first
much.
movie.
Yeah. Well, no.
99 was
Clerks
Dogma.
No, yeah, Clerks was the first in '94. You're right. And then Mallrats, then Chasing Amy, and then you got Dogma.
Oh, Dogma.
Mallrats was gonna be fun. Such a good
Supposedly,
movie, right?
he's working on a screenplay to do a Dogma sequel. Supposedly,
Ooh.
You can't do it. You can't do a Dogma
I don't
sequel
see
without
how
Alan
present- I
Alan
don't-
Rickman.
yeah, I don't
Yeah.
see how.
And-
Well, and Tony or Seven, I brought it up a couple of weeks ago. I saw a post on one of my Kevin Smith World Facebook groups. I think you're actually on that group too because I've seen you comment. And did you see the one of House playing the devil in a Dogma remake? And I was like,
I would
oh my
watch
god,
it.
that was
Honestly,
brilliant.
I think if they're going to do the devil in Kevin Smith form, and let's think about this: if they're actually going to do a Dogma remake with the devil, excuse me, goodness, if they're going to do a Dogma remake with the devil, Atlantis Morissette has to play both.
Oh,
I'm down for that.
That would be
I'm
an
down for
interesting, yeah.
I'm down
yeah,
for that.
on both
Think about
sides.
how Kevin
I'm down
Smith
for that.
religion works and how and especially how beautifully he depicted religion in Dogma. And I say this as somebody who's raised in the church and has faith. Like, that movie was so fucking well done. Seriously.
It honestly
Yeah,
was
it
very
was.
well done. Very well
But
crafted.
Atlantis Morissette has to play both. Like, that's just the way it is.
You've heard a bit about Dogma and a lot about karma. You know?
Oh, I have a solution let's throw this out here. I have a solution for him to get the rights to Dogma that I think everybody socially would accept, because Harvey Weinstein solely owns the rights to that. That's why we haven't seen any like Blu-rays or anything like that. He pays Harvey Weinstein a reasonable price so that we can get it, and he can do more with it. And we collectively donate that amount to a fund for like sex abuse survivors, victims, Weinstein's victims. I'd throw money towards that same amount towards that, so that, yes, Weinstein's getting that money. It's an unnecessary, it's a necessary
You're
evil
not getting it
like that.
until he dies, unless you pay money.
Exactly. And so by also donating that same amount to a good cause, we can rest a little easier knowing that we get that content back and good comes out of it as well, despite the fact that slimy fuck gets the money.
Yeah, well,
Look here. I ain't gonna let y'all disrespect my move. I ain't gonna let y'all disrespect the mask. I ain't gonna let y'all do that. I'm sorry, the crow. I'm not gonna let you
Well,
disrespect
actually,
the
that was
crow.
going to be the next one I
No.
brought up.
but you're
no,
skipping, but Pulp Fiction. I don't know.
And that's on the list
Nah.
too. But I was going to say that probably one of the most cult classics of our generation in The Crow. And
Yeah.
That's a good movie. It is.
I've never seen all of it. I'm going to be totally honest. Never
I'm gonna
seen
say
the
the
entire
biggest
movie.
cult classic of our
It's
generation, but it's
got
one of the biggest.
Just
I'll get
because
you into
of
that.
the story behind it and the fact that Brandon Lee was probably en route to be a huge star in Hollywood.
That alone, right there, just you always got to have a place up at the top there, just because of everything involved with the making of that movie.
Yeah.
That's. I mean,
And there are not many people you talk to that say differently on that. He was a talented actor. He played that role so well. And if you don't know the story of this, he was killed on set when an accident happened, and he literally
That wasn't
shot
no accident.
himself.
That wasn't no accident. That's just me.
Well,
I mean, I
accident.
kind of feel the same.
with
I mean,
what
Top
I
Gun
go
is
with
there,
what it says. I'm not going to argue with you, but that's one of those things in the movie business we will never
Yeah.
know the fucking truth.
The official explanation.
Yes.
There you go. Yeah.
Look, you ain't gonna sit here and disrespect the mask either.
Well,
We
no,
talked
we
about it.
talked about that. Yeah, it was Jim Carrey's
Okay,
golden
you
year.
better talk
Yeah,
about that.
94 was Jim Carrey's best year. He had
But-
Ace Ventura,
Love the
Mask, and Dumb and Dumber all in the same year, and then Liar Liar the next year. So
Hold on, another golden flick from '94 that gets completely disrespected and it shouldn't. It gets overlooked and it shouldn't. Sorry, I won't say disrespected. Overlooked. 8 Seconds. Luke Perry and Stephen Baldwin.
Facts.
That movie is amazing. Best depiction of bull riding in a cinematic form I've ever seen.
we were also talking
I
about
agree.
Keanu earlier.
Speed.
Yeah.
Speed,
Yeah.
man, like
Natural. Sorry, go ahead.
that was my introductions to Keanu Reeves. And what I did not know until I was making this list that God, now his name, the guy who with Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber, Jeff
Daniels.
Daniels,
Daniel.
also in Speed, same year he plays a huge comedy blockbuster with Jim Carrey, and he is in the beginning of Speed as Keanu's mentor.
Yep.
And he plays that serious role so well. I had no idea. The two plays are so different. No idea that they were in the same year.
He does not get enough credit for how much of a range.
Oh
he
my
has as
God.
an actor. Like
So
seriously.
good.
Yeah.
If you don't believe
Yeah.
me, go watch Newsweek. Is that the name of it?
Oh, the Newsroom on HBO.
Newsroom. Sorry.
The best
Newsroom
3
was
minutes
cool.
of television are on that show.
Yes, when he says that America's not the greatest country. Oh my God, I've watched that
Yeah.
clip 100 times.
If you want to have your mind blown by the most honest television you've ever watched, go onto YouTube and just search the most 3 minutes, the honest most 3 minutes of television. I think it's something like that is what it's called. It's a clip from him in the newsroom, and it is absolutely amazing.
And that just goes to show what I have said on this show many times. Aaron Sorkin is a fucking genius.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
ugh.
I agree with you on
Okay, the one that I was going to mention was Woody Harrelson's Natural Born Killers. That was a really
That was
good
good. Yeah, that was a great movie.
Yeah, and then and I know the person that's in it can't, whatever, Kevin Spacey, but The Usual Suspects was something that we watched a lot, and that was a really good movie. Again, can't really say a whole lot, whatever, but it's a shame he was such a good actor. Damn it. Ugh.
even a cat like that movie. He was standing right there before he left.
Right.
House
That's
of
bring up the
Cards.
name.
As much as you want to shit on House of Cards, is an amazing show.
American Beauty is still one of my top 10 favorite movies, and it kills me with the type of person that Kevin Spacey was, because that movie is cinematic gold.
Right. Yeah.
I did want
He was
to
in Baby Driver. He was really good. That was really recent too, actually.
And that movie flopped for some reason.
I loved that movie so much.
I thought it was pretty good.
It was, you know what? They did so good with the production of that movie, with tying sound in with the action, the overall like little hidden messages in like flyers and newspapers and things. Like, just I don't know.
I would
It's
say
like
that
the
movie
musical
failed
aspect.
because of Jamie Foxx.
He was
you're right.
not good. I will say that. What's his face? What was it? Is it John Hamm? Is that the one who played? Is his name? I think so. That played the other guy, the one with all the tattoos.
I don't remember.
That was with the
I
other
know what you're
chick.
talking about. Yeah.
Yes, it is him. It's totally John Hamm. He did great in that role. It's such a weird role for him. He's so classic.
3 movies I wanted to mention that we haven't. Stargate. The launch of a franchise came out in '94. 4 Weddings at a Funeral.
Yeah, I
And
was going
then-
to mention that one if somebody else didn't.
The Flintstones.
Dang it! I knew there was one. Dang it!
John
I knew there was one I
Goodman
missed.
is Fred.
Yes!
Greatest Fred
Yes!
Flintstone there's ever fucking
Yes.
Oh, hey, speaking of Charlie Sheen, Major League 2 came out in '94.
been. Oh, you're right.
Facts
You're
true.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, Major League is still one of the greatest. I mean, outside of like Angels in the Outfield, Major League is still one of the best It's the best baseball series of movies.
So you wanna hear something funny? I'm not a huge fan of Major League 1 and 2. You want to know what I'm a fan of? Major League, the spinoff, Back to the Minors. That movie
That
is
was good,
so funny, and it is a B movie if I've ever seen a B movie.
I
But
just
it is
realized
so funny.
you left off Santa Claus for the Disney movies. That's a '94
That was
movie.
not
Was
on
that
my
Disney?
list.
Yeah.
Was that Disney?
Yeah.
It was Disney.
Yeah.
God, that is the movie that launched Tim Allen's Disney career.
Yeah, '94. It was like, it was, end of #94, right? November 11th, it says. But yes, I'm sorry, I got completely distracted because I was scrolling through more. I was like,
You're right.
that's like one of my favorite Christmas movies.
I say this, and I absolutely would be okay with getting rebooted just because I loved it so much as a kid. 3 Ninjas Kick Back came out.
Oh yeah.
No,
yeah.
That's not about Three Ninjas.
we
Yeah.
talked about this
I've
on
heard
this
that
show.
one.
That Rocky was actually my nickname from 5th grade through high school because of that movie. Like, I was that big of a fan that one day when
Hey.
I moved schools, I told people to call me Rocky, and it stuck with me through graduation.
Hey, let me ask y'all a question real quick, and this would be off the bearing topic just a little bit. Was Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
It's been too long.
I
been
would
too
argue
long.
Die Hard is a
wanted to
Christmas movie, just like Home Alone is a Christmas movie.
Okay, but there's a difference. Home Alone is set. The Christmas setting for Home Alone is vastly more important than it is
It's
in Die
true.
Hard.
It's like an actual plot point.
It's an actual.
Yes.
It's a central plot point. The fact that it's around Christmas and Die Hard is barely mentioned. It's like as frequently mentioned as Bruce Willis's hair. I'll put it at that way.
Come on,
But-
man! Don't do that to Bruce like
I mean,
that.
is there a lot of Christmas decorations around? It's been so long since I've watched it. I truly don't remember.
In Nakatomi Plaza, it was decorated for Christmas, and I think that's where a lot of the reference comes from. But outside of that, it's not really referenced that much.
It's not a Christmas movie.
It's
I
not-
see. I
It's
kind
a
of feel like
movie
that's.
theme.
I always
at
want to ask that
Christmas.
question. I always want to ask it to see if people
It's-
agree with me.
Just because it takes place around Christmas doesn't make it a Christmas movie.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's fair.
if we're going to make Die Hard, I would put 1,000 Ways
Said
to
it's a
Die in the
Christmas
West.
party.
It's a Christmas
That's
party.
true. That's true.
I would put 1,000 Ways to Die in the West, that Seth MacFarlane movie, as a
Million
legitimate
Ways to Die in the
Western,
West.
or a million
Mine's
ways to die in
gotta-
the West.
Han's got to get in here.
That's
our favorite movie
come
right
on,
there.
Flash Fun.
It's a good movie.
Hey, I hope y'all ain't
love
sleepy.
the
This gonna be
movie.
2 hours.
But me and Dan went for an hour and 45 last night.
Damn, cuz.
Jeez, bro.
Damn, bro.
Oh my!
You guys know I don't shut up.
Pun gonna get in here. Watch and see. Watch.
But I would
Somebody give it a
I
link.
would put a Million Ways to Die in the West as a legitimate Western before I would put Die Hard as a Christmas movie. I love A Million Ways to Die in the West, but that is a comedy Western. I would put it as a legit Western because of Liam Neeson being in it.
You know,
man.
he
Man,
did such
don't
a good
disrespect,
job.
man. Look, man,
in
But
that
it
role.
was such a good movie, though.
Man, don't disrespect
legitimately
Bruce
good
like
movie.
that, though. Bruce was good in Die. Bruce was good in Die Hard. Don't disrespect
Well, yeah,
Bruce
it's
like
a
that.
good
No.
movie, but it's not a Christmas movie.
So
Come on now.
as we close out, we're gonna come back to topic and say, out of all the movies we listed, if anybody wants to fight me and say that there's a better year in cinema than 1994, like it just doesn't exist. You had some of the greatest movies. And we barely mentioned Pulp Fiction, which
Facts.
truly
Facts.
is
Facts.
probably one of the
Facts.
biggest cult classics
Such a
ever,
good movie.
and launched the. And it's also look at the careers that were launched in '94: Tom Hanks, Morgan Freeman, Jim Carrey.
Vintage Danny DeVito in the Renaissance.
I'm
Man.
sorry. I shouldn't laugh, but it's a shame that this has to be something that we're actually concerned with these days. I hope Bruce isn't secretly racist or shitty because he's one of my faves. Like,
Hey,
seriously,
I'm
like,
saying,
that's
man.
something you gotta
I'm
ask
saying, man.
yourself.
Look, the only thing I've heard bad about Bruce is he's somewhat of an asshole. I did
I
hear
mean-
that, but I haven't heard any of the other stuff.
He's
So.
one of the biggest actors of our generation. You think he's not
He
going to be
was
an asshole?
so good at oh god, what is it? Oh please.
Armageddon.
No,
He was
well
very
yes,
good in
but no,
Armageddon.
the
Very
one
good.
with Matthew Perry. What's it called? The funny
Oh,
one.
Whole Nine Yards.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes,
Great.
that's such a good movie.
I know y'all ain't gonna say.
Whole
I
10
know y'all.
Yards was pretty good too, but
I know y'all ain't gonna say. I know y'all ain't gonna sit here and disrespect the Expendables.
We talked about it.
Yeah.
We talked about it because Expendables
Expendables
4
4
just got greenlit.
Oh, it was horrible.
Well, the thing that I will say when it comes to that era, that time, is, and I think it's one of the reasons why Hollywood has been panicking so much since we got spoiled. Like, we'll say 93 to 97.
Mm-hmm.
94 being peak, but 93 to 97, pretty much everything that came out was amazing.
Yeah.
we just watched.
Like,
I
I mean-
Googled Dante's Peak came out in '97. We just watched that. That's so.
Well, I mean, he's being generous because then I mean, Back to the Future. It's really about from 85 to 97.
Okay,
Like-
all right, I'll give you that.
Because it was that cinematic change that happened with Back to the Future, then Jurassic Park, and like
Mhm.
all of those that just changed cinema and the way it was done, and things that were discovered between those years in
Plus the
cinema.
Plus the
Well, and
intro-
technology was changing so much
Yeah,
at that point.
I
as
mean,
well.
again, if you go back and watch that show, I was talking about movies we love, and it talks about how Jurassic Park literally changed the world of cinema altogether, and how they brought those dinosaurs to life for the screen. It
Plus
literally
back-
changed.
Plus back in those days, there wasn't social media. There really wasn't cancel culture or anything like that can prevent a movie to fall like it is today.
So we're going a little long. We're gonna go ahead and close out, but like we could talk about this year in movies forever. But I did want to do a plug here, and since both these gentlemen are here, join us in 2 weeks when these gentlemen will be joining us as we do a crossover episode between us and First Gen Dads, and we talk about TV dads, the
I'm
good,
excited about
the
that.
bad, and the ugly.
Such a
down.
good movie.
I'm
That's
down.
Such a good.
I'm
That is a
good.
good movie. That was a great movie.
I'm down.
I'm talking. We're gonna talk all the guys from Red Foreman to
Peter
Philip
Griffin,
Banks,
number one, baby.
Peter Griffin.
Penny Griffin, number one,
gotta-
baby.
We'll have to mention,
Literally, probably one of the
Jerry.
greatest TV dads. Oh, we're gonna compare who is the greatest TV dad. Is it Philip Banks, Danny Tanner,
Nope.
or Ed Winslow?
No, it's clearly Philip Banks. There's
Philip
not a
Banks,
better
man.
TV than
I
Philip
mean,
Banks.
you're
man.
probably right on that. We're going to have that discussion and more and talk about all the TV dads in
Phil
2 weeks.
Dunphy. Yeah,
Oh.
Modern Family.
Well, and then also, I'm going to throw my hat
Don't
in
forget
for,
Carl Winslow,
for
boy.
Murray Goldberg. Murray
Carl
Goldberg
Winslow.
is amazing.
Carl Winslow.
That's who I was saying, Carl Winslow. Like,
Carl Winslow, yeah. That
he's
Family Matters. That show was truly underappreciated for some of the issues that it talked about for the time frame.
so good.
If you go back and watch that show now, it's just as relevant now as it did when it aired.
I don't know
But
if-
we're going to talk about all those amazing TV dads and the good ones, the bad ones, the ones that were a little rough, but you still love them. I'm going to put a foot in your ass.
He's probably my favorite.
Dumbass. We'll talk about all that and more in 2 weeks on this show, so make sure you join us for that. For me, that's all I've got. Check out everything we've got on Pinfall. These guys on Thursday with First Gen Dads. This girl right here.
The model of
night.
pinfall.
Tomorrow night with Pun and Tyler on Double XP. And yeah. And then Monday night Sports Report and Sports Report After Dark for 2 hours, obviously. There's a reason I don't produce that show anymore.
It's Dan and I get going, man. Like last night, we started talking about the Cornhuskers and what the hell is going on with there, and we ended up. We ended up talking about things like Deshaun Watson, and it got interesting.
It was after 1 o'clock my time. I was so asleep. God, you guys.
We just went for it. Like I'm the type I don't like interrupting good conversations, so we just went, man. I mean,
that's the best down in pinfall.
Mm-hmm.
Best down in pinfall.
Guys, make sure you check all this stuff out and more and keep posted on our page for all the things to come. Thank y'all for joining us on this talk on one of the greatest years in cinema, which is 1994. We'll see y'all again in 2 weeks. Make sure you check out me and Pun next Tuesday. Drop the mic, same time. Y'all have a great week, and we'll see y'all again soon.
I hate you. I hate you, Josh. I hate you.
He's so salty.
So
I need
salty.
to make sure. I need to get Pun on to First Generation Dads on Thursday so he can feel a little bit better.
That's right.